Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up Monday morning excited for work? It's possible. Finding your dream job means finding the right job at the right company based on what's right for your life. Ramit Sethi, New York Times bestselling author, has helped thousands of people find their dream jobs, and I want to show you how you can do it too. Get answers to some of today's hardest career questions. What's changed in the global pandemic? How do you use this time to renegotiate and even work remotely permanently? Are you in the right job at the right company for you based on your current career goals and life needs? Most people aren't. It's hard to find out how the most successful careers are actually built unless you have an inside scoop. Find Your Dream Job is Ramit's program that teaches people how to find and land the job of their dreams, as well as negotiate for more pay and great perks like remote work. Proven over 10 years with thousands of students, Find Your Dream Job is a comprehensive system that works no matter what your career goals are. Want to make more money, change industries, work from home, get a promotion, or improve your work-life balance? Find Your Dream Job will show you exactly how to do it. Sign up for more information at iwt.com/podcastdj. Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up Monday morning excited for work? It's possible. Finding your dream job means finding the right job at the right company based on what's right for your life. Ramit Sethi, New York Times bestselling author, has helped thousands of people find their dream jobs, and I want to show you how you can do it too. Get answers to some of today's hardest career questions. What's changed in the global pandemic? How do you use this time to renegotiate and even work remotely permanently? Are you in the right job at the right company for you based on your current career goals and life needs? Most people aren't. It's hard to find out how the most successful careers are actually built unless you have an inside scoop. Find Your Dream Job is Ramit's program that teaches people how to find and land the job of their dreams, as well as negotiate for more pay and great perks like remote work. Proven over 10 years with thousands of students, Find Your Dream Job is a comprehensive system that works no matter what your career goals are. Want to make more money, change industries, work from home, get a promotion, or improve your work-life balance? Find Your Dream Job will show you exactly how to do it. Sign up for more information at iwt.com/podcastdj.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a morning update. Before we jump into our article, just a quick heads up. I'm a little bit behind on episode 2 of Unsolved But Not Forgotten, and it will be out tomorrow, but that's not all. It will not only just be episode 2, it will be episode 3 as well. So there will be 2 episodes tomorrow of Unsolved and Unforgotten, and that will leave us just with 1 episode left in the series, which will be out Wednesday. So that will wrap up our look at the West Mesa Bone Collector, and we will be adding a few more stories as we go along. Like I said, I'm shooting for 3 times a week, and some of the cases will be one day, some maybe it'll take 2, some 3 or 4. But for the most part, a lot of these stories that we're going to dive into, they're a little obscure. So there's not a bunch of information, right? So we're going to really be looking at some obscure cases along with some of the more popular disappearances and unsolved murders and unsolved mysteries in general. So look for both of those episodes tomorrow, and then to finish off the West Mesa series will be Wednesday. And then we'll jump right into a couple of other cases that I've been looking at. One of them is the Oakland County child killer case. I've been looking at that one. We're going to add that at some point. We're definitely going to talk about Jimmy Hoffa at some point as well. I think that is still to this day, a very interesting story worth taking a look at. All right, so there's a quick update on that, and I do apologize about the day delay, but, you know, with the election and all kinds of other stuff going on, it's been hard to really be in the studio as much as I've liked to be the past week. But now that this week is over and we're getting a bit of normalization as far as, you know, the tallies starting to end, and then obviously there'll be legal challenges and all of that. But the actual hype around it is dying down a little, and I'll be able to spend as much time as I need to in the studio going forward now. So that's definitely a bonus. And like I said earlier, I'm just looking forward to putting this election behind us so that I could, you know, dive right in and we can really focus on the upcoming trial and the co-conspirators. So, with that said, our article today is another journey into the world of the FinCen files. Now, we've talked about the FinCen files a lot here on the show, and I feel it's very relevant and it's important to the case. And I also believe it's worthy of diving into the financial aspect of this thing. As I've stated a million times before, I think that if we're going to get any of the co-conspirators as far as enablers, I think the only way to possibly do that is through the finances. So I think it's really important that we discuss different vehicles and methods that they use to launder money and to hide money. And the subject we're going to talk about today is, well, something we talk about quite a bit on the podcast already. And that's the art world and how scummy the art world is. And according to the authors over at the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, well, high-end art world is a vehicle for dirty money as well. So, this article is from the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, and the headline, Secretive High-End Art World Can Be Vehicle for Dirty Money, U.S. Treasury Warns. And we all know about, in this case, the Jeffrey Epstein case. We know about the role of the art world. We know about the New York Academy of Art. We know about the Museum of Modern Art and Leon Black. And we know about Leon Black's billion-dollar art collection. And if you're familiar with the show Billions, if you're not, you really should be. It's an awesome show. They have a situation like this where the main character, Bobby Axelrod, he has a bunch of really expensive art, and they have a scam where they, have fake art there instead, so he doesn't have to pay taxes on it and all sorts of crazy shit. And that's what these people do in real life. All of those storylines pretty much from Billions have been taken out of the headlines and used in their story. Like, again, the lead character, Bobby Axelrod, he works on Wall Street. And on 9/11, his firm lost, all of their employees. And that's based on Lutnick over at Cantor Fitzgerald, Howard Lutnick over at Cantor Fitzgerald, where I used to work. So it's pretty funny parallels in the show Billions if you're hip to the nuances. It's a really well written show. It's really well done. Paul Giamatti's awesome in it, and so is Maggie Siff. And if you're interested in the stuff we talk about in the FinCen files and scummy ass banksters, well, you'll definitely be interested in Billions. So give it a try if you have not seen it yet. This article was authored by Spencer Woodman. A new advisory urges agents, brokers, and others in the art industry to adopt safeguards against financial crime, money laundering, and sanctions evasions. Again, they're going to self-regulate. We know that that's going to happen. We can really count on the art industry to self-regulate itself. Just like the modeling industry. Just like Big Pharma. Just regulate yourselves. No big deal. These people are so insanely crazy. And I really hope that there is some change on the horizon, because these people, Big Pharma and the like, they need to be wrangled in. I'm not big on regulations when it comes to most things in life, but some people have been getting away with literally murder forever. And talking about the art industry, forget it. How many of these people have all sorts of laundered money tied up in their art projects that are moving all around, or they have them, I'll put it at this museum, and then I won't have to pay for it. There's so many different scams and plots these people are engaged in. It's sick. It's sick. The United States Treasury Department is putting art galleries and museums on notice over the high risks of financial crime in their trade, warning that various aspects of the art industry makes it attractive to those engaged in illicit financial activity, including sanctions evasion. How many times have we seen these really super rich scumbags with the dumbass art collections? You really needed to pay $50 million for that picture, bro? For what? So you could floss about it? Now, look, I get it, right? If you're like a huge collector of art and you want to purchase these items and put them in a museum for everybody to enjoy, that's I get it. That's different. But these people, the vanity of having fucking $50 million pictures hanging on your hallway wall. I mean, really? Look, who am I to tell anyone how to spend their money, right? That's not my place. I'd never attempt to tell anybody how to spend their money. But at the same time, talk about being out of touch and tone deaf, and talk about not understanding the plight of the people. The advisory published on October 30th calls out the art industry's heavy use of shell companies, citing the high degree of confidentiality and anonymity in the art trade. The advisory cautions that art dealers may find themselves unwittingly, I love that, unwittingly, working with criminals seeking to move illicit funds. Unwittingly, huh? I'm sure some of it, maybe a majority of it is unwittingly, but you really think there isn't a market here for the art trade to help launder this money? You think that these people who are involved in this, the very same people that were hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, are above being involved in a money laundering scheme where they're peeling 10% off the top for themselves? Come on now. We know what greed does to people, and we know that something like the art industry is revolving around greed. Oh yeah, let me go splash a little bit of paint all over this canvas real quick. Oh, that's $150 million. I mean, some of it's just ludicrous. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not maligning actual artists, right? The artists are amazing, the works that they put out, and I couldn't even imagine. I'm lucky I can draw a stick figure. So it's the artwork itself is amazing. The fact that it's been bastardized by these sick people, just like everything else they touch, is what makes me mad and aggravated. And I think that it's a good thing that there's some light being shined here by the FinCen files and the great work by the consortium of journalists over there. I think it's pretty important to show that there is a big problem as far as money laundering and the art industry. And I think that it's very, very important for our case, especially considering all of the people that were involved and how quote unquote cultured they think of themselves. So, they're all involved in the art industry. We know for a fact Leon Black was. We know Jeffrey Epstein loved art. Just listen to Maria's story. So the art industry is certainly corrupt, and there's certainly a bunch of disgusting sons of bitches running around at the top. It also notes that artwork, often subjective value, creates additional attractive value to financial criminals who are known to manipulate invoice prices to covertly shift money around the globe. Another vehicle used. Was that what Leon Black was doing when the money with Jeffrey Epstein? Look, I don't have any evidence of that. I'm just asking questions. Nobody wants to ask questions. Well, guess what? Me and my beard, we have lots of questions. We've had lots of questions our whole life. And guess what? We ask them, even when they're uncomfortable questions. So that's one of my questions for sure. What was Leon Black and Jeffrey Epstein doing as far as artwork? Furthermore, what was Jeffrey Epstein doing with anyone as far as artwork is concerned? Do these LLCs have anything to do with artwork purchases from, say, the New York Museum of Art or the New York Academy of Art? Again, these are all very important questions. And when you look at it with this as a guideline, knowing that the art industry is as corrupt as the financial industry, it starts to make you ask a few questions about the money laundering aspect, right? The advisory serves as another reminder that the $28.3 billion American art market is the largest unregulated industry in the United States. So again, I ask you, do you really think that all of these supremely rich, wealthy, so-called members of polite society are that much into art? Or is it just another vehicle for them to protect their vast riches while you and I get caught up paying every last dollar that they say we owe? I highly doubt it's because all of these people love the art so much, okay? Just another scummy way for them to protect their money and not pay what they should be paying. Tess Davis, executive director of the Antiquities Coalition, which advocates the return of stolen relics to their home countries, told ICIJ in an email. It's crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. This lady's the executive director of the Antiques Coalition, and it advocates the return of stolen relics. And she's saying that it's the most unregulated industry in the United States of America. An insider in that industry is saying it. Not me, not the reporter here, but an insider in the industry, to the source itself. And what do I always tell you? If you want the real truth and you want the real story, cut out the media, cut out the middleman, and go to the source yourself. Because if it's possible to hear from the source, what better information are you going to get than that? And when it's somebody who is tied in like this lady is, she knows what she's talking about. This is what she does for a living. And it's rather obvious to anyone paying attention that the art industry is certainly used as a vehicle to move all of this dirty ass money. And the advisory comes on the heels of the FinCen files, an investigation by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists that examined massive flows of suspicious and illicit funds around the globe, including the art market. Conducted in collaboration with BuzzFeed News and more than 100 other news organizations around the world, the project was based on an analysis of trillions of dollars in transactions captured in suspicious activity reports that banks require to file with the U.S. authorities. So, we've covered this for a while now. I believe this is our 12th installment of the FinCen files and Epstein, and that little paragraph tells the story, right? This has been a very important drop in my opinion, and it's been very, very important. I think that what we have learned with the FinCen files has really just went to add an underline, a line under, I guess I should say, to everything we have talked about when it comes to money laundering. And it really gives you a big picture of how deep and how corrupt the banking system is. And these articles that came out, these FinCen file articles, could not have come out at a better time for what we talk about on a daily basis here on the podcast. Because we're starting to enter that phase where it's no longer let's expose the people who were involved. Obviously, we'll continue to do that. But now we're getting into the phase where it's punishment for these people. So when we start building that profile, right, and we're looking at the overall case, it really makes a lot of sense to talk about the financial aspect of this. And with the FinCen files dropping when they did, the timing could not be better. So I just, it's perfect for the time period where we find ourselves right now in our discussion. So I hope that they just keep coming with these great articles, especially ones like this, considering how big the art world played in Jeffrey Epstein's domain. One focus of the investigation was a shadowy shell company called Pantheon Worldwide Limited that exchanged millions of dollars in cash and relics with alleged antiquities traffickers, according to one suspicious activity report, while baffling compliance officers at its own bank. You see here what the problem is? Even with the suspicious activity reports in effect, they're ineffectual. I talked about this previously about how there was times we filed SARS and we didn't even know the person's name. Oh, he was wearing a black hat and a checkered shirt. Oh yeah, that's really going to help people out. So the FinCen file procedure itself is kind of a joke in my opinion, and it needs to be more stringent. The accused traffickers had been charged by authorities in New York with selling stolen relics from East Asia, India, Afghanistan, and other regions. The pillaging of Afghanistan was just brutal. When the Taliban was in charge of Afghanistan, fully in charge of Afghanistan, what they did with the relics was just insane. It made me cringe every time I would turn on the TV and see it. And then the destruction of the Bimian statues was just the nail in the coffin for me as far as what was going on over there. I really can't tolerate the destruction of history. It really bothers me to no end. And there was a lot of that in Afghanistan. And these relics that were pillaged from Afghanistan from long ago ended up flooding the market. And obviously the same thing happened in Iraq after the adventurism of America thinking it was a good idea to head over there. So these relics float around, and then these rich people, they end up buying them, right? And the banks know a lot of times that they're dealing with traffickers and shit, but guess what? Like usual, they do not care. At the heart of many antiquities cases around the globe are traffickers, elaborate steps to cover their tracks, and a heavy use of the art world's many options for financial anonymity. Financial secrecy has factored into all the largest antiquities looting scandals. Layla Amendola, a New York-based lawyer specializing in antiquities smuggling cases, told ICIJ, "Anonymity in this market runs very deep, and it remains a serious problem." Of course it does. And just like how the money laundering goes to keep people poor, the same can be said for the antiquities. Do you think the local communities should have these antiquities pillaged from them? Or should they have them to do with as they wish? Put them in the museum, let their people see them and experience the rich culture that they come from? But no, these piece of shit scumbag traffickers, in this case, traffickers of art and high-end relics, are involved in screwing people once again. And I'm tell you what, folks, I am tired of it. I am tired of these people living on a separate plane than the rest of us. It is time that we all stand up together and tell them no more. I don't know if there's ever going to be a better time than now, with all of the turmoil, all of the upheaval, and all of the people who have had enough. If we could just find a way to stop fighting with each other and unite with one voice to tell these people that we will no longer be treated as cattle, we will no longer be used and discarded when they feel is necessary. And we certainly won't be party to their disgusting, slavery-esque financial system anymore. But instead, we're way too busy fighting over this, that, and the other thing that has been manufactured by the very people, the legacy media, that we're on here talking about on a daily basis. And it just keeps turning and turning and turning. Well, I'll tell you folks what, I'm dizzy and I want off. In the case of Pantheon Worldwide, London-based Standard Chartered Bank maintained 3 accounts for Pantheon in its Hong Kong branch, but bank compliance officers knew next to nothing about their own client, a suspicious activity report shows. They were uncertain about the purpose of the company and didn't even seem to know where it was registered, the most basic information needed to assess whether it might be a front for money laundering or other financial crimes. Oh, they probably knew. But that's in the special folder, right? That's in the folder that none of us get to look at. Just the Jess Staleys and the Jamie Dimons and the Leon Blacks of the world get to look at that stuff. It's all a joke. It's all rigged against us. And these scumbag bankers continue to screw us on a regular basis. ICIJ also tried, and failed, to track down Pantheon. Hong Kong and London addressed listed by Standard Chartered for the company proved to be dead ends, and Hong Kong authorities said no company by that name had ever been incorporated there. This is pretty interesting stuff right here, folks. And I wonder what would happen if we kicked the tires on Pantheon, Jeffrey Epstein, Leon Black, etc., etc. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to spend some of my time doing today. Last week's advisory urges agents, brokers, and others in the art market who deal in expensive artwork to implement robust safeguards to ensure that they are not consorting with criminals. Good luck. They might be talking about, like, a different criminal than me, because the banksters are the criminals, in my opinion. The banksters are the reason we've all found ourselves here, and their lack of caring about anything but profit is why they're easily manipulated and caught up in these sorts of situations. The notice was issued by the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, which oversees sanctions imposed by the United States. In the advisory, the office encouraged art dealers who may be exposed to financial crime to conduct risk-based due diligence on art buyers and sellers, a process akin to what banks are legally required to perform with high-risk customers. Yeah, that's not going to work out so well. The United States has all of these, really delusions of grandeur at this point. They can't even get, the election correct. And they're out here talking about how they're going to regulate the art market. I really hope there's an overhaul coming, folks, because I have news for you. What has been going on for the last, 40 plus years has not worked. The American adventurism, the out of control financial markets, and everything that has happened in between has been literally a shit show. The OFAC publication may well be taken seriously, but it does not carry the force of law. For this reason, it is not enough for Davis. The OFAC advisory is an important step, but more action is needed, Davis said. If the U.S. doesn't act, we do risk our jurisdiction continuing to be a safe haven for criminals. Well, it's a safe haven for criminals. Just turn on the TV and take a look at any one of those lawmakers, and you already see your safe haven for criminals. Or turn on the TV when there's one of those fantastic, awesome congressional hearings with all of those dickwads from the financial sector. There are your criminals. And yet nothing is ever done about it. More lip service, more BS, every single administration that comes through the door. And you know it's going to be the same with this administration. I'm very curious to see how many people from the financial sector find their way onto to Joe Biden's presidential team. I'm guessing a lot. Obama had a shit ton. Trump had a shit ton. I'm looking at you, Mr. Scumbag Mnuchin. And so the story goes. The wheel keeps on turning. But guess what, folks? I don't want to be a spoke in the wheel. I want us to shatter the wheel. The way things have been done are not working. We need a new pathway. And the financial sector, they need to be highly regulated. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI at protonmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at BOBBY_CAPUCCI. All of the links that go with this episode can be found in the description box. To those of you who have donated to the podcast, thank you very, very much. As for me, I'll be back later on, folks, and we'll catch back up.
Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up Monday morning excited for work? It's possible. Finding your dream job means finding the right job at the right company based on what's right for your life. Ramit Sethi, New York Times bestselling author, has helped thousands of people find their dream jobs, and I want to show you how you can do it too. Get answers to some of today's hardest career questions. What's changed in the global pandemic? How do you use this time to renegotiate and even work remotely permanently? Are you in the right job at the right company for you, based on your current career goals and life needs? Most people aren't. It's hard to find out how the most successful careers are actually built, unless you have an inside scoop. Find Your Dream Job is Ramit's program that teaches people how to find and land the job of their dreams, as well as negotiate for more pay and great perks like remote work. Proven over 10 years with thousands of students, Find Your Dream Job is a comprehensive system that works no matter what your career goals are. Want to make more money, change industries, work from home, get a promotion, or improve your work-life balance? Find Your Dream Job will show you exactly how to do it. Sign up for more information at iwt.com/podcastdj. Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up Monday morning excited for work? It's possible. Finding your dream job means finding the right job at the right company based on what's right for your life. Ramit Sethi, New York Times bestselling author, has helped thousands of people find their dream jobs, and I want to show you how you can do it too. Get answers to some of today's hardest career questions. What's changed in the global pandemic? How do you use this time to renegotiate and even work remotely permanently? Are you in the right job at the right company for you, based on your current career goals and life needs? Most people aren't. It's hard to find out how the most successful careers are actually built, unless you have an inside scoop. Find Your Dream Job is Ramit's program that teaches people how to find and land the job of their dreams, as well as negotiate for more pay and great perks like remote work. Proven over 10 years with thousands of students, Find Your Dream Job is a comprehensive system that works no matter what your career goals are. Want to make more money, change industries, work from home, get a promotion, or improve your work-life balance? Find Your Dream Job will show you exactly how to do it. Sign up for more information at iwt.com/podcastdj.